When I made the previous video about the 99th Ramsar site, so I was telling you about that India is reaching the century when it comes to the Ramsar sites in India. And ultimately, the 100th of the Ramsar site had been announced, and it is Jai Prakash Narayan Bird Sanctuary or the Surha Tal that is located in Uttar Pradesh. It has been designated as the 100th Ramsar site in India. So this is the complete journey that you will see. And on the World Environment Day in 2026, we reached this milestone where the government of India declared the Jai Prakash Narayan Bird Sanctuary or the Surha Tal that is located in Uttar Pradesh as the country's 100th Ramsar site. And ultimately, this has put India as the first or the country that has the largest number of the Ramsar sites in Asia and even globally. Now we are third in the number. We are just after the UK as well as Mexico, which have the largest number of the sites, and now we are the third in the globe that have the largest number of the sites when it comes to the Ramsar sites. Now, when it comes to the Ramsar Convention, I told you even before that Ramsar Convention was the convention to preserve the water bodies, or you can say the wetlands, and the wetlands had been given their importance. That was they were awarded the wetlands of international importance. Now, this convention was signed in Iran, in Ramsar, in 1971, and it is the oldest intergovernmental treaties that conserve the vital ecosystem of the wetlands. Now, over here, the wetlands are the transitional zone that you must understand, where the water, it meets land. It covers the marshes, there are fens, there are peatlands, and even the water bodies up to 6 meters deep at the low tide. And therefore, there are some of the rivers as well which are being included into the wetland conservation also. Now, when it comes to India, so India became the contracting party on 1st of February 1982, and we signed the Ramsar Convention in 82, ultimately establishing the strict conservation protocols across the designated sites which had been deemed as the Ramsar sites. Now, over here, there is a concept of the wise use, that is, like for example, when it comes to the national parks, you must have seen that in the national park, there is complete, segregation of the human population from the core areas. So there is no human presence that is there in the national parks, and the human presence is completely restricted. But in the Ramsar conventions or the wetlands of the international importance that promotes the wise use paradigm. That means that there is sustainable utilization of the wetlands for the human benefits. That is that there is fisheries and the agriculture that is allowed while maintaining the complete integrity of the ecosystem as well. Now, in the UPSC, it has laid down the analogy between the wetlands as well as the human body. And it says that think of the wetlands as the kidneys to our or of our natural landscape. Now, of course, when it comes to the wetlands, they work as the kidneys because, like kidneys, the kidneys are basically the organ that filters out the toxic substances from the blood. In the same manner, you will see that when it comes to the wetlands, they filter out the toxins from the land runoff. They filter out or absorbs the colossal flood waters like they are a sponge. Also, they recharges the deep subterranean aquifers and keep the local ecological body healthy as well as vibrant. Now, over here, when it comes to the 100th of the Ramsar site that we have, it is Surha Tal, which is India's 100th site. And over here, it is located in Balia district in the eastern Uttar Pradesh in the Basantpur village. And it is the 13th Ramsar site that had been designated as Ramsar site in Uttar Pradesh. All right, when it comes to the lake, it spans from 2,549 hectares to 3,432 hectares, and ultimately it swells during the monsoon, because when it comes to this lake, this is basically a oxbow lake. All right, and it is natural oxbow lake which has been formed in the middle stretch of the Ganga river basin. Now, over here, when it comes to the protection history, it was earlier declared as the bird sanctuary by the UP government or Uttar Pradesh government in 1991. Later on, it was renamed in 2002 after the socialist leader Jai Prakash Narayan. And when it comes to this particular lake, it is an important link when it comes to Central Asian flyway as well, and ultimately it hosts the Siberian birds also, the migratory birds that comes and visit India during the winter season. Now, over here, when it comes to the complete biodiversity of the Surha Tal, you can see that over here there are 220 1 plant species which are found, along with 66 fish species, and also numerous water birds which are found in the land or the lake that is there. Also, when it comes to the summer season, so during the dry summers, when small regional marshes they dry up entirely, so Suratal actually serve as the vital oasis for the vulnerable species which are here. Like for example, we have common pochard and the Indian river tern as well. And there is key predator as well. And when it comes to this, so there is the plenty of the fish which are there in the lake, and therefore what happens is that there is fishing cat which is vulnerable, which uses the abundant shallow fish channels and ultimately as its feeding ground. So this is why this Suratal is very important when it comes to the ecological and the environmental perspective. So this was formed in, or this is the Oxbow Lake that is there in the river Ganga basin. So ultimately how the Oxbow lakes are formed. So there is continuous lateral erosion that occurs in the outer banks of the river band, and there is deposition that happens in the inside or the inner banks that is there. And ultimately what happens is that the neck, it becomes narrow because the rivers, they do not flow in the straight path. They follow the meandering channels, and ultimately the neck, it gets narrowed and there is cut off ultimately. And this leads to, during the heavy floods, the high velocity river water breaches the narrow neck, and ultimately this is where we have the Oxbow Lake that is formed, because there is silt deposition at the entrance of the abandoned loop and it seals it off completely. And that is how the Oxbow Lakes, they are formed ultimately. Now, when it comes to the Ramsar sites in the numbers, so you can see that total Ramsar sites now in India is 100 sites. All right, we have total 100 sites. And when it comes to the region, so we are first in the Asia and now third globally in the terms of the number of sites. There are when it comes to the number 1 in the state, it is Tamil Nadu, which have 20 designated sites, and the number 2 right now is Uttar Pradesh, which has 13 designated sites. The largest wetland site in the India is Sundarban wetland, and in Tamil Nadu it is Kazuveli Bird Sanctuary, and in state of Uttar Pradesh it is the Upper Ganga river stretch. The smallest wetland is the Renuka Lake that is there in Himachal Pradesh in India. In Tamil Nadu it is Vembanur wetland, and in the Uttar Pradesh it is Shekha Jheel. Then when it comes to the first wetland that was announced in the world, it is Cobourg Peninsula in Australia. Also, when it comes to the largest site in the world, it is Rio Negro that is located in Brazil. The country with the most sites is United Kingdom, followed by Mexico and followed by India, because India is now the third of the third most sites that has that are there globally, and the largest area that is under protection is in Brazil. All right, so now this complete table is quite important. You can take the screenshot because such type of questions are asked in your UPSC prelims examination. So this is very important information for your prelims exam. Now over here you can see that there had been rapid conservation rise. When it comes to 2015, there were just 26 sites in India. Now in 2018, they were increased to 35 sites. Then in 2022, 75 sites, and ultimately within a short period span of just 11 years, from 2015 to 2026, now there are 100 Ramsar sites which are there in India, and that shows that India is compliant to the global, we have the Sustainable Development Goals which are there. Specifically, we have Sustainable Development Goal 15, that is life on land, and Sustainable Development Goal 14, that is life below water. So this shows that India is compliant to the Sustainable Development Goals which had been laid down, and we have moved towards the conservation. And right now we have, in 2015, where we had just 26 sites, in 2026 we have 100 sites which are there. All right. Also, when it comes to these wetlands, there are certain core threats which are there, and these threats actually threaten the complete ecosystem of the wetlands. The first one is that there is agriculture runoff, where we are using the chemical fertilizers, and ultimately what happens is, because of the agriculture runoff, there is the nutrient gets added to the wetlands, and there is eutrophication. All right, there is eutrophication, there is algae bloom, and ultimately that because of the algae bloom, the oxygen is depleted, and thereby the marine or the aquatic life is threatened. The second threat to the wetlands is the siltation and the encroachment, where there had been conversion of the delicate floodplains into the agriculture land, or the concrete settlement which chokes the incoming water channels, and ultimately that leads to gradual drying of the wetlands. There is overexploitation as well, where there is the destructive, unregulated overfishing and excessive harvesting of the wetland vegetation, which have severely damaged the food web in the region and impacts the keystone predators, like we have fishing cat in the recently nominated the Ramsar wetland. But at the same time, there are the statutory regulatory frameworks which are followed. And we had the main shield that is there. It is the Wetlands Conservation and Management Rules that were framed in 2014. Basically, they are the bedrock of the legal protection that is there in the wetlands, and they decentralize the management by setting up the state wetland authorities, or SWAs, which are chaired by the respective state environment ministers as well. Now, in these wetlands, there are certain things which had been prohibited. Like, for example, the reclamation of the land. So, any of the wetland land, it cannot be converted for the non-wetland uses, and this is strictly prohibited in the Ramsar wetlands. Then there is industrial activity that is also prohibited, that is setting up or expansion of the industries within the boundaries of the wetland. There is also waste disposal, that is dumping of the solid waste or even the discharge of untreated waste directly into the wetland, that is strictly prohibited, and even the construction or building any permanent structure that impede the natural ecosystem. So these things are prohibited when it comes to these wetlands. All right, so that would be all in this video. But at the same time, if you are preparing for the civil services and you need the right guidance, you need the right mentors, so you can join the courses on the Study IQ platform. Now, we have for the GS Foundation, we have the P2I batches, that is Resolution P2I for the English medium. You can join the Resolution P2I batch, and for joining this and for getting the maximum discount, you can use the code that is BRS Live. Also, when it comes to these batches, they had been modeled upon the SMART framework, where you get the structured classes. That is again very important because you get a proper structure. You know what to study and what not to study. Also, you get the mentorship where you get the support if you need the support, and as well as you get the assessment dashboard through which you know your positives and your negatives. That is your strength and the weaknesses. You get the revision and the test series as well. So these things you get when you enroll into the batches on the platform of Study IQ. So that would be all. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care. And do not forget to share this session with your friends who are preparing for the civil services. Also, do like the session and subscribe to our channel if you have not subscribed yet, because ultimately subscribing the channel, you do not miss any of the updates in the future. All right. So that would be all. Thank you. Bye-bye and Jai Hind.